Ideal Heating in Hull. They've recently been involved in these successful trials which show how our domestic boilers could operate on a 20% hydrogen blend mix, which is actually much cleaner. It's actually much cleaner energy than gas. I had a chat with Lizzie Wilkinson, who's head of domestic product management at Ideal Heating in Hull, and I did ask her what the difference is between hydrogen and gas when it's used for central heating.
So the big difference is that hydrogen is a clean gas. So when it burns, it does not emit carbon dioxide. So this is why there's loads of interest in hydrogen as a potential replacement for natural gas in many areas.
And you guys have been looking at steps towards, looking at the first steps towards moving away from gas to heat our homes. And, this would be to use 20%, like a 20% hydrogen blend mix. Can you tell us more about these trials, and what the outcome was?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a project called High Deploy that we've been involved in. This started at Keele University, where they have a private gas network, which is quite handy for sort of testing these things. So the project mixes 20% hydrogen into the natural gas supply, and our boilers have been running in their plant room perfectly fine. The project has just moved to phase 2, which is up in the northeast of England, and here they're mixing the 20% hydrogen into an area of the natural gas network which supplies homes and businesses. So we know there are some ideal boilers installed in those properties too. And really what High Deploy is doing is proving that we can blend up to 20% hydrogen into the gas network safely without it impacting the appliances. So that's really important because that means there's no need to change people's boilers for this type of technology to be rolled out.
So if it's decided to put 20% hydrogen blend into the natural gas grid, would this cost the consumer anything? So, for example, would we need to so we wouldn't need to upgrade our boiler, but would any other upgrades be necessary for us?
So no, this is the great thing. So firstly, if the government and the gas networks decide to put that blend of up to 20% hydrogen in the gas grid, it will be after all these trials that are running to make sure that it's absolutely the right thing to do. But when it happens, if it happens, it will be an invisible change for householders. So all our current domestic boilers can run on that 20% hydrogen blend. So there's no need to swap out boilers or change appliances. And that's what the big benefit is of this 20% blend, is it doesn't really create a huge amount of upheaval for householders or mean a boiler swap of any type.
So what's the next step then? Because, you guys are showing that this 20% hydrogen blend mix can work. Where do you go from here? What do you think the government... So when do you think the government will press that red button and just be like, right, go, and, allow this greener energy to flow through the grid? What are the pitfalls?
I think that's a really great question. I think there's probably going to be some time before we see hydrogen flowing through our gas grid. Appliances are ready now for this 20% blend. We know that, and we know they work, but there's still a lot of work to be done in terms of infrastructure. So, for example, making sure that the UK can manufacture enough hydrogen for the demand and also manufacture it in a green way. So we're predicting that if there's a decision to blend hydrogen into the grid, it's most likely to be the late 2020s before we see it happening at scale.
Wow. Okay. So it's not too far away, but maybe for some people who are sort of thinking, no, we really need to make changes now, it maybe is a little bit too far away. You guys seem to be working really, really, really hard on this. But what other stuff have you guys been working on? What other research and development is happening at Ideal Heating in Hull then? Because you do a lot of work, coming up with new ideas like this, new ideas at your site in the city that not many people are aware of, and I think this is really important at the moment, isn't it? When we think about decarbonising our homes, decarbonising, the Humber area, and making sure we can get some clean, efficient heat into the future homes in Hull.
Absolutely. So you're right, we are sort of tucked away in Hull a little bit, but we've got absolutely loads going on at our site, both in terms of manufacturing and also, like you say, the research and development and product development. We've got a really large R&D team, and as well as working on sort of the future of gas boilers, like we've talked about with the hydrogen, they also work on other low carbon technologies. So things like heat pumps, which we're going to see more and more in UK homes. We've also got, for example, an Internet of Things team, an IoT team who work on connectivity and control of these appliances, which is going to become more as we want to carefully manage energy usage. And we're also building up things like our training function as well, because we really need to support sort of plumbing and heating installers and make sure that they've got all the training they need on these new technologies that are coming as well.
Honestly, Lizzie, it sounds very, very exciting. So to people that listen thinking, you know what, I want to be on board with this, I want to be a part of this, do you think there's going to be a lot of scope for career development and, getting younger people, more people within the green energy industry going forward? And how, as a big heating manufacturer, do you hope to continue to recruit people into this field of work?
Well, yeah, I mean, I am obviously very excited. I think there's loads of opportunity in the heating sector at the moment and in loads of different areas. So there's a lot of change, but that also means there's lots of opportunity. So, for example, we recently broke ground on our site here in Hull on a £16 million investment project to expand our operations and logistics. You've only got to look at our site to see the range of roles there are. So we've got our research and development engineers, we've got electronics engineers, we've got our industrial engineering team who take our products from R&D and make sure we can make them in our factory. Then obviously we've got our fantastic team who work across our production and logistics functions. And what some people may not know is that we also have a large customer service function on our site in Hull, and there's loads of opportunities within that as well. And I would say our product range is expanding and we need to make sure we can support it as well. So we need to continue attracting talent to our business. So we've got loads of information on our website. We're coming and talking to people like you, and we see there's a lot of opportunity in this area.
Honestly, Lizzie, it sounds so exciting, and it feels like you don't necessarily have to just be interested or have studied any of the STEM subject. It's something that everyone can be a part of, anyone wants to fall into if they want to be a part of this great change to a greener future. Lizzie, I want to say thank you very much for joining us on The Breakfast Show. Good luck, and I look forward to chatting to you again in the future. I'm really excited about the work that's going on here in Hull, and I wish more of the world knew about what was happening in our little slice of the world.